everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I complained enough for 10 runs on the last run. So hopefully we have no reason to complain on this one. We got that Vigo hair from Ghostbusters 2. I gotta tell you, a couple things I like, a couple things I don't like. A couple things I like. Book of Revelations, extremely strong item. Speed, rate of fire, luck, range, they're in acceptable bounds. A couple things I don't like. Well, to be honest with you, damage could use a little bit of work. I will leave. I may return. I may return for you, my friend. I'm not sure yet. I gotta think about it. Theoretically, we should have basically no reason to lose. You know, we have, once every 6 rooms getting a Spirit Heart. If we lose, it's gotta happen early, or we gotta, like, totally blow it later. Both of which are well within the realm of possibility. I liked it better when Brimstone was showing up every run. I'm not as fond of the fact that it seems like Ghost Baby's showing up on every run. He tries. Bless his heart. Perfect pill for this room. That being said, he kinda stinks. And I'm not talking about his damage. He has an odor. It's must. It's formaldehyde. You guys do dissections in school? Probably, right? Like if you're old enough. I assume it's still part of the high school curriculum if you have to take biology up to a certain point at least. They probably still use formaldehyde to preserve, like, the, you know, it's kind of a gross word to say, but fetal pigs and frogs and, you know, all sorts of dissections. Clams and rats and, you know. Basically, in university, I had, like, a dissection class where once a week you'd go into the lab and they'd be like, hey, here's your animal. And you'd be like, this is a whale's head. You're like, yeah, we're gonna look at a whale brain today, so what? Doesn't seem that practical for real life. Okay, I never looked at a whale brain. We did hold a narwhal tusk once, though. Infested is fine. I'm a little worried about popping a pill upon entering this room, but I'm going to do it anyway because I am not a coward. And it worked out, sort of. But yeah, they would always... you know, we'd smell something, and then we'd be like, what's that? And our teacher would be like, that's the formaldehyde that we use to preserve the specimens until you dissect them badly and they're just mangled and grotesque. We say, formaldehyde, isn't that a known carcinogen? And they go, yep. Enjoy your class. I'm gonna go outside. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Text me if you have any questions. Do you know what's weird? Is, formaldehyde. No. What's weird is, and I'm not against it. If anything, it's probably forward thinking. But in the state of California, which I have been to, I don't know, maybe close to a dozen times, they have very strong regulations on labeling carcinogens. I'm so mad that we used explosive diarrhea not on any of the 400 rooms where we could have gotten a tinted rock, but so be it. We're moving on. Things that you would buy in your home state or country, like let's say like a plastic spatula, you know? When you go to buy it in California, there'll be a sticker on it sometimes that says, this item is known to contain chemicals that, to the knowledge of the state of California, are carcinogenic. Really makes you think twice. It also forces you to realize how many known carcinogens are around us on a regular basis. But that's not really where I'm going with this bit. Where I'm going with this bit is when I was there in June to look at a Hitman 2, the hotel I was staying in had that on the side of the building. There was a plaque that was like, this building contains materials known by the state of California to cause cancer. That's not, like, I realize that, you know, there's probably some asbestos in the walls or something like that. It's not like I was like, I can't stay here. But it's just not the kind of thing you want to hear when you're about to check into your hotel. It's like, well, okay, there's a pool on the 3rd floor, and, you know, there's a gym. You just have to swipe your key, and then, you know, you just bring your own towel down, and then if you need more at the front desk, you can grab them. By the way, the building causes cancer. I feel like they should be forced to print that at the booking.com checkout window. It's a 4-star hotel. Lots of great amenities. Food's really nice, but the building is carcinogenic. Would you still... of course, truth of the matter is that probably all the buildings consumed, or... yo, you guys don't eat buildings? All the buildings built around that era in that neighborhood probably have the same stuff in them. It's just a bit of a sobering message to read when you're, you know, walking around outside for your morning coffee. Hey, did you read that sign on the side of the building? What, the one that says parking garage downstairs? No, the one that says that if you stay here, you're gonna die. That's not what that means, but still. So this is the danger zone right now. Kenny Loggins be darned. We have 2.89 damage and a bad rate of fire and an orbital, which in my head means hit everything with the orbital, but we're not exactly killing it from an HP standpoint either. We do have tinted rock opportunities. Dude, please, small rock. I mean, I'm happy with the Spirit Heart, don't get me wrong. We can use a little bit more blue fuel. I'm not complaining yet, because again, Book of Revelations is just incredible. And, you know, Acid Baby's doing his job. We're not going to pop him yet. I don't know if these guys can actually target either way, but still. Feels like I'm walking on sunshine is the dream pill, but it is what it is. Okay, just stay strong. You know these guys are affected by knockback. Pheromones at least makes them do damage when they bump into each other, I think. So we'll pop it like that, and it totally worked more or less. Stop! Well, really, thank God for the orbital, but still. I'm begging you. Rate of fire increase, damage increase, anything. Mom's underwear. Okay, when I said anything. That's not what I meant. Okay, 9 lives. Now we're talking. Maw of the Void, extremely great. Okay, take me out of here. We're good. We're actually set. Maw of the Void is so good that I'm actually mad that it has a damage upgrade associated with it. Like, can you just pass your damage upgrade off to another less affluent item? Is all I ask. We're gonna balance the game. Infested. Tammy's head. I gotta admit, Tammy's head is always a little bit tempting, tantalizing, persuasive, etc., but a little bit worried about our HP. I will say, we might take Tammy's head to leave this floor, but we're not going to take it yet. But it does look like we'll probably get pretty close to 12 hearts by the end of this floor. Tears upgrade as well. Okay, I'm starting to believe. I don't want to do it yet, but I'm starting to believe. And you know what? I think we do want science tears, especially, you know, we're going to take Tammy's head. Instantly, I've decided we're going to go Tammy's head from this point on. I want the damage. We haven't had a run with strong damage since 1971. 17 years prior to my birth. I don't care what the pills are, unless they're tears upgrades, in which case I care a great deal. 48-hour energy? Well, it's kind of a better one to have when you have Book of Revelations, but unfortunately that's in the long distant past and I would never return for it. They said don't look back, so I never look back. I'm gonna try. Wish me some luck here. Thank you. We should be totally set now, and it just goes to show you, like, it's amazing how fast you can turn a run around in Isaac, right? A floor ago. Less, like 6 rooms ago. 7 rooms ago. We were, like, we're screwed. Unless we get something incredible. This is totally worth it, I think. Yeah? I'll take it. The speed upgrade, if nothing else. The speed upgrade was probably worth it. Kind of walked myself into that one. Stop with the curse, Tyrone! The curses are getting to be a little bit much, okay? You know what you need is blessings. Curses? Nah, nah, nah. Blessings? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, how about a floor and it's just like, blessing. You move twice as fast on this floor. You do double damage on this floor. We could call it the curse of, well, the blessing of you're still playing this game 7 years after its initial release. So here's a little gift from us to you. You know what? I don't love it. Originally, I was thinking, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to use the black rune, because we don't care about getting another level cube of meat. Second level cube of meat's not that good. We can always get, you know, second and third levels later. I'd rather have, if you give me the opportunity to choose between stats now and stats later, I always want stats now. The earlier you get the stats, the better, probably. But you've broken my heart on that one. To get shot speed, not really what I'm looking for. Still, run's looking good. I'm going to take a quick peek for Magic Mushroom. I have a hypothesis regarding Magic Mushroom. We got it on our last run. Makes me think might be in our pool. Are you a wizard? Irrelevant. Verp gives us, are you a wizard again? This is the wrong room for explosive diarrhea, though. Yeah. Walk all the way back. Ooh, tears upgrade that we cannot use. We've hit the tears cap, at least the soft cap in the last 2 games. Normally, our damage is good and our rate of fire kind of suffers. This time, I mean, we took Odd Mushroom, which trades one for the other, but still. I think it's another tears upgrade. Yeah. One day it may be worth something. Come on. Just a demon heart is all I ask for. It's not that hard, okay? Just put your lips together and blow. 48-hour energy. Not really the right time to use it. I'm just happy we have some momentum. Like, are we on Caves 1? Caves 2. Very, very strong deal with the Devil chance. Very, well, relatively strong Guppy chance as well. I got high hopes for this run. I'm not saying it, you know, we're owed a good run because our last run kind of sucked. All I'm saying is, you know, what have you done for me lately, Troll Engine? Besides completely save this run and give me the opportunity to build a streak win, you know, especially at the start of this run, if you were just not giving me Book of Revelations, we would have been screwed. See, I'm trying to play the character of the guy who doesn't understand that he's been given a golden gift. That being said, you didn't give me a devil deal, so you're dead to me. Dude, I had to up my podcast game, okay? It's no offense to Dan Carlin, Hardcore History. There's a reason it's maybe the most popular podcast on the internet. It's fantastic, well-researched. When new episodes come out, which is once every 5 to 7 months, they're meals, feasts of information. Sometimes part of an ongoing saga that, you know, you've been following for maybe 2 years. They're amazing, but they just don't come out fast enough for me to satiate my entire podcast diet anymore, I'm sorry to say. It's been years of listening to them almost exclusively. Don't get me wrong, I see that. Last night, I was looking through podcasts, and I was like, I don't really want to listen to Planet Money. I don't care. I don't really want to listen. Here's the thing, and I've said it many times before. I don't want to listen to a podcast to try to fall asleep if it's under an hour long. An hour is like the hard minimum. Because here's what happens. If you don't have trouble falling asleep, you may not be able to relate to this, but it's a very simple mathematical equation. I thought this was worth trying, by the way. I may be right, may be wrong. If you have trouble falling asleep, you know, you put on a 40-minute podcast. First 5 minutes, you're very comfortable. After that, you go, oh, maybe I'll check the time on the podcast. You're like, oh, 7 minutes. That means I better fall asleep soon, or I might be falling asleep right as the podcast is ending, and it's going to play some kind of music, or, you know, it'll jolt me from my relaxation, and it's going to be an issue. So then, like, if you're between 35 and 45 minutes, you know, when the podcast is ending, you can't fall asleep because they're doing, like, you know, put your code into Audible for 10% off your first audiobook download. So you can't do it. It's got to be at least an hour, for me at least. I ended up listening to this podcast just called the No Sleep Podcast, and I'm familiar with No Sleep as a community that writes. It's creative writing meant to be unsettling, meant to be spooky. But I will admit, without being insulting to these talented and young creative writers out there, some of the No Sleep stories are a little silly. They all kind of end in the same way. Like, every single one is written to end on a twist. They're always written to end with, like, Papa? Thanks for tucking me in last night. A chill ran up my spine. I was not home last night. You get the idea. Then who was phone, basically. But I was like, hey, it could be cool. Hey, Capricorn. Also not a ×2 damage upgrade. But yeah, sure, I'll listen to the No Sleep podcast. For whatever reason, knocked me out like a friggin' light. I was done. As soon as the dude started talking, you know, there's a woods in Minneapolis. The first thing we're told when we visit is never to go in them. I was like, probably, I don't even know what happened in the story. I know there was something haunting these woods, and then this guy he had to go into the woods because his wife was ill, and there was a conceit for it, and etc., etc. But then, you know, they start talking about beware the Jabberwock, my son, the fangs that bite, the claws that catch, and my brain just shut off. I'm still looking for new podcasts, though. It's like, it's not easy. First off, I want it to be about history, just because I already know that works for me, right? I already know that history puts me to sleep. I like history. That's what puts me to sleep. It's not that it's boring. It's rather that it's interesting, so it kind of sucks up my attention. But every history podcast, except for hardcore history, is a half-hour long. Turns out it's really hard to do a very well-researched and learned podcast on a more regular interval. You know, it takes time. It takes research. Half an hour seems to be like the upper maximum for at least a weekly show. So there's this podcast called The History of Britain. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Look at the episodes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Sorry, buddy. You're not getting my patronage. By which I mean, I'm not listening to your show and you're getting no money whatsoever either way. So, you know. Except, I don't know. If you listen to... It's probably the sponsored deal when you start the podcast. Is like, you know, go to audible.com. Buy a Casper mattress. Maybe we will. We need a new mattress when we move. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. We got one like 3 or 4 years ago. How often do you replace a mattress? I thought a mattress was one of those like once every 7 years sort of deals. That seems right to me. Yes. Like, you should replace a mattress like roughly as often as you replace a car or something, right? Can I? Thank you. Now, I don't want to be part of the disposable culture. You know, I grew up with my parents drove their cars for 10 or 12 years. You know, I saw 3 cars in my entire existence. When I was born, my parents had a 1986 Dodge Shadow or something. In 1998, my dad bought a Ford Taurus. And then in 2008, he bought a Honda Accord. Those were until I became an adult, those were the 3 cars I had ridden in. And then like a used Ford Ranger that my mom used to get to work. So I'm in for the long haul on this Focus, and it kills me inside. But I'm like, you know, it's paid off, I believe. I'm trying to think, is it because we bought it in August 3 years ago, so it should be like, maybe this is the last month. I don't know. We should celebrate if that's the case. We're driving it for free as long as you ignore the fact that, you know, every month it loses another $400 or $500 in Blue Book value as more and more people learn about the class action lawsuit against the company for its busted transmissions. But anyway, don't shoot. You shot. That's against the Geneva Convention. I'm sorry to inform you. I need to pick up this AWAS. We didn't go to the item room. You're killing me here. We've slowed down yet again. Either way, I'm in for the long haul. You know, when I look at a car is like a 6-year minimum. Minimum! And even that's on the low side. Like, if we got 6 years out of this car in 2021, if I was going to the dealership and being like, please put this in the trash for me, I would consider that a personal loss. Let's go. I'm gonna keep AWAS just because if we go the right path, we can maybe do boss rush. But now, like, it's ridiculous. Obviously, we're not gonna do boss rush. Look at this. I am glad we walked back though. Like, I want to drive this thing until it explodes on the highway and kills me in a giant fireball. I will die, but I'll die being like, I squeeze this down to its last friggin' mile. You'll see me, I'll be driving at highway speeds, the car will explode. You'll see a flash out of the driver's side window, and you'll know that's me. I've jumped out of the window after getting maximum value out of my vehicle. What'll probably actually happen is in like 2021, we'll be driving on the highway and it'll make a noise and I'll be like, okay, time to never drive this haunted car again. It's going into a car-sized trash can. We'll see though. But a mattress, you know, a mattress is different because it gradually gets worse. And then when you get a new one, it's like a huge improvement, right? I remember when we got this mattress 3 or 4 years ago when we got on it. I was like, oh my god, have we been sleeping on something not this firm? Because this feels amazing. You don't even realize, you're like, dang, man, you live like this? I was trying to... wanted to say the D word without getting hit by the Google language filter. Because the normal quote is, you know, it's... rhymes with BAM. I don't want to be here. I want to be in the boss rush. Well, it is what it is. We're a little too slow, but you know what? The run's very good. We shouldn't complain. Let's try putting a bomb here. Secret room access, perhaps. Alright, no complaints. I mean, Tammy's Head Death's Touch is a really, really, really sound combination. We're also one item away from becoming Guppy. We got Maw of the Void. Like, we got Tech X, which is insane, or as Mathis would call it, Tech 10, because I guess he's Roman. Absolutely. So AWAS is not going to do much for us right now, but we'll maybe use it on... I mean, we could use it on the Womb 1, but we'll probably have a really good deal with the Devil Chance there, so... What did I froze her! Yeah, let's go. we could have gone to Shoal, I guess, but no big deal. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to try it. It pains me. It hurts me deep in my soul because I would love to leave this extra floor and we wouldn't have noticed that there was a dice room and the dice room could compromise everything. Believe you me, I know. Deep in my soul, I know that it's the wrong decision for us to go to this room. We have every strong item in the game. Don't do it, NL. You're saying, don't do it. Think of your streak. You're gonna get in trouble. I never had a choice, okay? What do I mean by this? I'm gonna go to the dice room, of course. How could I not? I need to know. Deep inside of me lies the heart of an explorer. A Ferdinand Magellan or a Christopher Columbus, if you will. Luckily, this time I was not penalized for my curiosity. So we'll probably win. I was thinking about it because, you know, like, I watch HGTV now and then, and I want you to know, I hate myself when I do. I think HGTV is like, it's only entertainment, but simultaneously it's like poison. Like, I don't want to besmirch anybody's interests, alright? If you're interested in home renovations, real estate, I look at home, like, DIY projects the same way I look at programming. Genuinely. You know? A lot of programmers, they turn up their nose at other stuff. As far as I'm concerned, like, it's like making a birdhouse, you know? It's like building your own spice rack, you know? You're making a grocery list app that you can use on your phone, and your wife can be like, hey, add pineapples, and it sends a push notification to you while you're in the grocery store, and you go, okay, I'm gonna go get some pineapples. You're not doing it because you're doing the best job. You're doing it because you're exercising your skills and you're spending time together and developing as a person and professional, etc., etc. What happened here? We had a vert pill a second ago. But I also sort of feel like it's contributing to the downfall of, you know, everybody who watches it, myself included. Because previously, when I have walked into a house, for example, I walk into the house and, you know, people go, what do you think? And I go, well, it's 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor, can't complain. Now I feel like I'm supposed to have all these complaints. Like, everybody on these shows has a complaint. To walk into a house, you know, oh, well, the pitched roofs aren't really what I like. I would prefer a barreled coffered ceiling and blah, blah, blah. It's a house. Who cares? Well, they care, and which is why I'm being careful, you know. I don't want to besmirch their interests. I'm just saying. What was I talking about? I don't remember specifically. Please let me become Guppy. It's been so long, I forgot what winning feels like. We should grab that. Ah, now I remember. Okay. I was watching HGTV, and these people were, it was like Love It or List It or something. They were going through a house that was built in the 1950s. In the bathroom of this house from the 1950s, and apparently this is not uncommon. I looked it up on the internet afterwards. You know, you'd have like a mirror, obviously, like adjacent to your sink that you would look into while you wash your face or whatever. Other things that humans do, like myself. And above the mirror, or rather behind the mirror, there was a slit. And people were like, oh, what's that for? Apparently what it's for is in the 1950s, people had a great disdain for the generations that were coming after them and also the planet Earth. What they did is they built a bunch of houses that had basically a garbage can that goes into the wall. So what you do is when you, and it's specifically for shaving, don't put any tissue paper in there, that's gross. So instead, just put your used bloody razor blades. After you're done using them, you just slide them through the hole in the wall, and then the mythical garbage fairy carries them off into the ether where they're never going to be seen again, until you die and your children inherit your house and go, what's this? And then it's a bunch of rusty iron razor blades because you don't understand object permanence. It's actually like the most selfish thing I can fathom. I just want to drag like an architect from the 1950s to the present day and be like, what were you thinking? Because there's only one explanation, and that's what you were thinking is, we're just gonna put our razor blades in the wall when we're done with them, because, you know, I'll be dead before it becomes a problem. It's just the most selfish attitude. I literally just do not understand what kind of argument you could make for this being a good system. You know? Well, if we put them in the garbage can, they could cut the bag, so instead I just put them safely into the wall where they disappear, never to be heard from again. That's not how that works. It's like, you know, just leaving plutonium in a closed room. Copy, let's go. Didn't even dawn on me. So we got all this irradiated plutonium. What do you want to do with it? Just don't look at it. It's not... Just keep it away from you. I mean, you're gonna be dead long before it becomes a real issue anyway. Why are you being so hoity-toity? Look it up. I'm being honest with you, okay? This is not... It might just be a North American thing. Slot in wall, razor blade. Razor slot in wall. Here we go. Why are there razor blades in my walls? Old medicine cabinet, a slot for used razor blades. Medicine cabinet blade slot. When I was a child, the blade slot fascinated me. It should still fascinate you, because it's absurd. You're filling your wall with, like, some Suspiria stuff. That's insane. I feel like I keep saying it over and over here, but, like, It's so baffling to me. Because, you know, if I could take someone from the 1950s back to today, and I'd be like, hey, you know that asbestos stuff you're like putting in your walls for insulation? They're like, yeah, isn't it awesome? It's really cheap and it keeps you warm. They're like, actually, you know, it gives you cancer. They'd be like, whoa, that's wild. And I'd be like, yeah, you know those razor blades you're shoving in the walls? Oh, do those give you cancer too? No, just stop doing it, you weirdo. Put them in the trash. But then I'd have to deal. No buts. Throw out your razor blades. Good lord. Like, ignorance is an excuse up to a point, but like this just seems like malice. It's like if you're moving cities, not cleaning up your apartment or something before you go, and be like, man, that's the next guy's problem. AKA my loved ones, probably. Or the person who paid 250 grand to move in here. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.